Over the last few decades, China has emerged as an undisputed world power and infrastructure, achieving feats that were once believed impossible. Among its most impressive accomplishments are its colossal megabridges, which have caught the attention of even the President of the United States, who has expressed his amazement at the spectacular advances of the Asian giant. But what makes these megabridges so extraordinary? Why are they generating such worldwide impact? In this video, I'll show you the 8 most impactful Chinese megabridges that have surpassed the limits of engineering. Structures so advanced they seem taken from science fiction, but are completely real. Number 8. The Highway to Heaven. A highway that ascends 2,600 meters into the clouds seemed impossible until China built it. The West Highway to Heaven is not just a highway, it's an epic conquest of the planet's most hostile geography. The Yaqi Highway extends for 240 kilometers through colossal mountains, mighty rivers, and abrupt terrain, ascending from 600 to 3,200 meters above sea level. That means an average of more than 7 meters of elevation per kilometer. Built between 2007 and 2012 at a cost of $3 billion, this mega highway uses countless structures, dozens of bridges, tunnels, and viaducts that literally sculpt the mountains. But here's the crown jewel, the Ganghisi Bridge, a 1,800-meter long structure that looks like a giant roller coaster located at 2,500 meters altitude. It's the world's first interlaced reinforced concrete beam bridge. And as if that weren't enough, on the same road we find the Beiponiang Bridge, known as the world's highest bridge at 565 meters from the ground to its highest point. It's as if they had built a skyscraper lying on its side over a valley. This highway is the definitive proof that when China sets out to connect 2 points, it doesn't matter what mountains, valleys, or abysses stand in the way. They literally build a path to heaven. Number 7. The Endless Bridge. $20 billion and nearly a decade of construction for a single project. The Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge is simply monumental. 55 kilometers in length, connecting 3 regions through a system of bridges and underwater tunnels. This titanic work took nearly a decade to complete from 2009 to 2018 at a cost of $20 billion. It's one of the most expensive projects in Chinese history, but the results are extraordinary. It reduced travel time between Hong Kong and Macau from 3 hours to just 30 minutes. But the true genius lies in its design. The structure is divided into 3 sections. A main bridge on the high seas, an underwater tunnel, and connecting bridges. Why this complexity? Because the Chinese thought of everything: typhoons, tsunamis, earthquakes, and even impacts from ships of up to 300,000 tons. This bridge is not just an engineering work, it's a declaration of intent. China demonstrated it can connect what seemed impossible to connect, creating a highway over the sea that resists nature's most destructive elements. Number 6. The Celestial Bridge. Building a bridge that literally gets lost in the clouds wasn't just a technical challenge, it was almost impossible. The Celestial Bridge, located in Guizhou province, is a masterpiece that spans more than 2,100 meters over a deep valley. Built between 2016 and 2019, this bridge consists of 3 enormous towers, the largest of which is 30 meters taller than the Eiffel Tower at 330 m high. The multitude of stay cables create an impressive visual spectacle that extends to the horizon. And do you know what the most fascinating detail is? Its nickname is no coincidence. The bridge receives the name Celestial because, due to its extraordinary height, clouds frequently engulf it, creating the illusion that it disappears into the sky. At a cost of $215 million, this investment has completely transformed the region. It has notably improved traffic efficiency considerably, reducing poverty in neighboring provinces by connecting previously isolated regions. Can you imagine driving on a bridge that literally gets lost in the clouds? It's like driving toward heaven itself. Number 5. The Levitating Bridge. Supported by a single 150 meters tower and floating 300 meters above an abyss, the Luqiang Bridge, located in Yunnan province, is an engineering feat that literally appears to be levitating over a mountainous abyss. This colossus of steel and concrete, almost 800 meters long, is suspended more than 300 meters above a vertiginous cliff. But how do they achieve this levitation effect? The answer lies in its ingenious construction. An enormous 150 meters high tower holds the entire roadway through steel cables with only two support points at the valley's extremes. Built between 2019 and 2022, this bridge literally crosses through the mountain with tunnels, creating a connection that drastically reduces travel time in the region. With its 2 lanes and 4 traffic lanes, it's a vital artery for local traffic. But here comes the warning. This engineering marvel is not suitable for drivers with vertigo. Driving on it requires considerable courage, or at minimum resisting the urge to look down into the void. Would you dare to drive on a road that floats in the air? The Chinese demonstrated that when it comes to connecting communities, there's no natural obstacle that stands in their way. Number 4. The confusing bridge. An interchange with 5 levels and 20 different routes sounds like a traffic nightmare come true. The Shenzhen interchange, nicknamed the confusing bridge, is the most complex overpass you'll see in your life. Located in Chongqing, this monstrous engineering work took 8 years to build, from 2009 to 2017. Why so long? Because it features a colossal 37 meters high structure with 5 levels, 20 different routes, and 3 highways crossing through it. At a cost of $230 million, thousands of vehicles circulate daily through this labyrinthine structure. But here's what's incredible. Despite its apparent complexity, authorities assure that moving through here is quite simple. Of course, provided you understand Chinese to read the signage. Otherwise, you could spend the entire day going in circles. It's like a giant 3-dimensional puzzle where each piece is a road. Can you imagine using GPS here? It would probably go crazy trying to calculate the route. The Chinese turned a road interchange into a modern art piece that defies conventional logic. Number 3. The desert bridge. 13 million plants as a shield against the planet's most devastating sandstorms. Here, the Chinese built something many considered impossible, a railway bridge that defies constant sandstorms. The Desert Bridge is part of the Hoden Railway, a monumental work that includes 5 elevated bridges over 434 prefabricated pillars covering almost 50 kilometers of impassable desert geography. But the Chinese didn't stop there. To combat the devastating sandstorms that could bury the tracks, they planted 13 million plants around the structure, creating a natural barrier against the elements. It's as if they had turned the desert into a railway garden. Construction began in 2018 and the 825 kilometers route was inaugurated in 2022. Now it forms part of a circular route of more than 2,700 km that completely surrounds the desert, allowing trains to travel at speeds of up to 120 km/h. Can you imagine seeing a high-speed train emerging like a mirage in the middle of the desert? The Chinese made it reality, defying one of the planet's most hostile environments. Number 2. The Dragon Bridge. A 3-story highway that winds over a mountain following the shape of a giant dragon. The Dragon Bridge, located on Tinel Long Mountain, is undoubtedly a masterpiece of engineering creativity. This spectacular 3-story highway winds over the mountain with a 350 meters elevation change using 7,000 tons of steel and thousands of tons of cement. But here comes what's truly impressive. How long do you think they took to build it? Chinese engineers completed this architectural marvel in just 1 year. They began construction in March 2018 and inaugurated it in May 2019. To put it in perspective, there are cities where it takes longer to repair a pothole than it took China to build a 3-story bridge over a mountain. The design is no coincidence. The Chinese built it following the shape of a giant dragon lying on the mountain, connecting lowlands with high-altitude mountainous regions. A much more economical solution than drilling tunnels through the entire mountain range. Can you imagine driving on this structure? It's literally like driving on the back of a steel dragon. Number 1. The Ferris Wheel Bridge. Combining a functional bridge with a giant 120 meters high Ferris wheel seemed like a crazy idea. In Tianjin, we find something completely unique in the world. A bridge that's also a giant Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel bridge isn't famous for its conventional architecture, but for being the base of the Tianjin-I, an imposing 120 meters high Ferris wheel. This structure combines functionality and innovation in an extraordinary way. The Ferris wheel transports up to 768 passengers per hour in its 48 cabins, completing one rotation every 30 minutes. But here's the fascinating detail. Visitors can enjoy panoramic views while below. Traffic flows normally over the bridge. Construction began in 2007 and was completed that same year, but the Ferris wheel didn't open until 2008. Why? Because the Chinese conducted exhaustive safety tests to ensure the Ferris wheel wouldn't roll away. Imagine the headline: giant Ferris wheel rolls through Tianjin streets. Each night, the bridge transforms into a neon light show that reflects in the high river, creating a magical image that attracts tourists and locals alike. It's the perfect fusion between practical infrastructure and urban entertainment. Who else but China would think to combine a bridge with a giant Ferris wheel? We've toured 8 engineering marvels that demonstrate why China has become the undisputed world power and infrastructure. From bridges that look like toys to highways that touch the clouds, each structure defies what we thought possible. Which of these mega bridges has impressed you the most? Would you dare to drive on any of them? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next